Hello! Today I felt like doing another period inspired look. This one is the 40s, like the last one I did was the 30s, before that the 20s. So yeah, pretty much I'm going chronological order towards wherever we'll end, probably in 21st century. Could take a year because I don't do these looks very often. Either way, just like the last few times, I used an old makeup ad sort of as an inspiration for this look. Yeah, just because, you know, makeup ads usually really show like the perfect look of those times, and you know, I have lipstick on my teeth, damn it. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I use as an inspiration. It's actually a Maybelline ad, so, you know, a brand that still exists. And other than just a makeup look, I also did a small, very easy hair tutorial with it, not off the back because it's just a bun. But curly hair was really in fashion back then. I'm not gonna curl my entire hair because it's very long, and that would take me pretty much, you know, the rest of the year pretty much, yeah. But I did do a small tutorial on how I did my bangs. So if you have short hair or bangs like me, like slightly longer bangs, you can also do this look. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I started out with Skin Perfection by L'Oreal and also an eye cream by Yves Rocher. And then I went on to L'Oreal Nude Magique BB cream, which was actually a BB cream that didn't quite work out for me at first. But then I realized I needed to use a different brush. So now I use a buffing brush by Real Techniques. And instead of carefully buffing it in, or, you know, just carefully applying it to the skin, you really need to massage this stuff in. Like, when I really spend a lot of time on it and massage it in, it does actually work. It just takes more time, but, you know, it does work. And it has SPF in it, so it's good. After that, I did my eyebrows. I used the NYX Tame Frame brow pomade, which I obviously use a lot, although I barely ever use it on video. So I thought I'd just grab it for this look. Because the brows, they need to be round and they need to be thin, but they don't need to be excessively dark. At least most of the pictures I saw, they didn't have very extremely dark eyebrows in the 40s. So yeah, I just concentrated on making it as rounded as possible, which is quite easy with my eyebrows because I tweezed the hell out of them. But yeah, if you don't want to do this look as well, you know, just make it fit with your own eyebrows. Then for concealer, I use the Catrice Camouflage cream. As you can see, that's also a well-loved product. It's a shade Ivory, the palest one they have. And this time I actually decided to start out on my nose. For some reason, my nose is always more red than the rest of my face. And then I moved ahead to my under eye area. I used to do that first and then immediately apply powder to that. And then go back to concealer, conceal the rest of my face, and then, you know, powder. That, yeah. But I figured if I just do my eyes last, then I can just immediately officially move on to powder. So yeah, the powder I'm using is by Peggy Sage, their translucent loose powder, and I'm applying it with a powder puff that actually came with the powder. By the way, the brush that I use for concealer is from eBay. I'm really trying to remember to tell you what brushes I'm using. So yeah, I also applied the powder on top of my eyelid just to make sure that everything will stay in place throughout the entire day. And also applied it on my nose and forehead because I get really oily there. For the rest of my face, I just buffed it all in with a large powder brush by Sigma. Just to make sure I don't have weird white spots if I stand in bright light. Then after that, I went on to my eyes. I'm using the Naked 3 Palette Urban Decay, and then actually I'm only using Nooner, which is the warm darkish taupe shade next to the gold shade that I'm accidentally pointing at here. Just a nice shade, but I'm still using concealer first, just to make sure I have sort of a tacky base on my eyelid. Just the same concealer as I was using underneath my eyes, the Catrice one. It works perfectly fine for this. It doesn't go weird over the powder, surprisingly enough, but it does make sure that all the eyeshadows have something to really stick onto. And then I started applying the taupe shade onto my eyelid. This brush I'm using is by EcoTools. Just a very nice, easy to use brush. It's actually dual-sided, the other one is an angled brush. And yeah, I'm just applying that to my crease as well with a Sigma blending brush. Like the look on what was on the photo was more of a painted image, but either way, it just looked very soft and smoky, so yeah, that's what I was going for. And then I used the Essence Silky Touch blush in Life's a Cherry to make it more pink, because in the photo it looked as if she also had her blush in her crease. So yeah, just very carefully started applying it. you know, layer by layer, because it's easier to apply something a little bit more than to take something off. In the end, I applied quite a lot because I actually, contrary to what I was expecting, I actually really like this whole blushing eyes look. So yeah, it looks sort of cute, I guess. And nice for spring with pink color in it. So yeah, just blended it a lot to make it look nice and soft. Then on the pencils, the white one, I was going to say pink one. The white one is by Peggy Sage, the black one is by Estée Lauder. And I'm just going to start out with the white one to make my waterline white. The under eye area looks very, very bright and pale in the photo, well, image. So yeah, just try to copy that by using a white liner on my waterline. And then on my top lash line, I used the black pencil. I didn't want to use liquid liner because, again, it looks very soft and smoky and sort of natural. So I think liquid liner would have looked slightly too harsh. However, I am going to apply big false lashes because that was a very obvious part of the image that I used as inspiration. So yeah, I did need something dark on my lash line, just to make sure the lash band sort of blends in nicely. But yeah, just apply the pencil and then blended it out with a brush of unknown origins. I have no idea where this brush came from. But it works well. It's sort of an eyebrow brush, but I prefer to not use my actual eyebrow brush for black cream products because I don't want to accidentally paint my eyebrows black the next day. So yeah, that's why I'm using this one. Just blending it out and all. And then the lashes I'm using are from eBay, or, you know, not from eBay, but I bought them at eBay. They're just really huge and really cheap and really nice. And the glue I'm using is Peggy Sage. Yeah, the bottle is sort of dirty with makeup, but the lash glue is really, really good. I'm still looking for tweezers, by the way, that have that really nice shape to apply lashes on yourself. For now, I'm just using these regular normal tweezers. And surprisingly, these actually went on quite easily. I do really like how it looks, but it really took some getting used to wearing lashes because I almost never wear them, and these were really, really huge. I did darken up the inner corner with a little bit more of the pencil on the brush, just to make sure that the darkness of the lash band sort of just moves onto the inner corner and doesn't just randomly stop. And by then the lash glue was dry, so I used the Yves Rocher Sexy Pulp mascara just to paint my own eyelashes black and to paint them, or to glue them to the false lashes. This mascara is like the most non-clumpy mascara I've ever used, so it's completely perfect for this. So yeah, I used that on my top lashes and also on my bottom lashes. I'm not sure if that was also in the image really, but you know, I just prefer to have my bottom lashes also painted, so that's what I did. And then on my cheeks, I just used the same Essence blush that I also used on my eyes. For the cheeks, I did it a little bit more on the apples of my cheeks than I would usually do. And also a little bit more heavy than I would usually do. Like in the image, the girl seemed to have very, very, very colored cheeks. So yeah, I tried to make mine very pink as well. And then for my lips, I did the classic red lip. This one is by Yves Saint Laurent. I actually bought it using gift cards, so I didn't pay the full amount for it, but they're like very expensive. It's my only very expensive lipstick. However, it does actually stay on my lips all day. I applied this look in the morning, and then by the time it was like late in the evening and I had eaten throughout the entire day, obviously, and drank stuff, it was still on my lips, so that's really, really good. And really the only difference with applying it from how I would normally do my lips is I made the top lip a little bit more rounded. Because that's just how it looked in the image, so I tried to follow that. Then for my hair, the back is just a bun, very easy, nothing complicated. And for the front, I just collected my bangs and just pretty much split them into 3 parts. 2 parts are going to go to one side, 1 part to the other side. It's probably obvious that I don't curl my hair very often because I was seriously fumbling with what direction to turn the ends of my hair to. But yeah, what I did is just put the curling iron on 4, and then, I don't know how hot that is, by the way. But yeah, then just hold it for like 20 seconds, then just carefully remove it from the hair and leave the hair in the curl to cool down. I've heard somewhere that it actually helps to make the curl stay in the hair, because if you immediately comb it out, the hair is still warm and the curl will just be brushed out completely. And I did want it to be quite tight. So yeah, those 2 strands were done away from my face, and this one I'm also aiming away from my face, but in the other direction. And then just let it all cool down for like 5 minutes. And then I just carefully sort of brushed like the heaviest curl out of it. I didn't want it to look too natural because it didn't seem like natural was like the biggest thing back then. I did want it to look like, like I had made an effort at it pretty much. Don't bother with flyaway strands at this point, then we'll fix that later. But first I'm actually going to use hairspray. I'm using this one by Elnet. It's the one with the black border around it, the strongest one as far as I know. And I'm just using a whole lot of that, and for some reason I always manage to almost spray it into my face and then breathe it in and then be like, yuck. But yeah, it hasn't killed me so far, so I suppose it's not that bad. And then I just use some hair clips to pin back the ends of the strands. And then here is the finished look. I really had a lot of fun doing this, and I really actually love how the eyelashes look. I should really wear them more often. Yeah. And they were actually surprisingly easy to apply anyway. But yeah, either way, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!